Welcome to another episode of the BPA Show. I am your host, Mr. Boggins, and this is my co-host at Mr. Pat Coyote. What's up, Mike?
What up, man? I'm just putting my ring on. Gotta flash it real quick. Yeah, flag champions. I'm doing good, man. Just got back from Palm Springs, out there wilding, being crazy, going goblin mode. You know how it is. But today was a big day. The schedule dropped.
Damn
the
right.
Schedule dropped.
Damn
Woo!
right. And it's good to be back. Thank you all for whoever had to wait a week for us to be back. We took a week off. Draft was crazy, man. Draft was absolutely nuts.
Insane.
We spent 4 hours, both of us standing up. Terrible decision. Terrible decision. Next
Awful
year,
decision.
we are sitting out.
We are sat
down.
We are.
You
sat
have no idea.
Year.
No idea. But yeah, man. Schedule just came out, and we're gonna kind of go over a little bit of it, just to get y'all's reactions. Tell us what you're thinking in the comments. We'll give you some of our reactions. Why don't we go whatever this is right
Let's
here.
Pull up
Sunday night, baby.
Woo! Look at these matchups, man. These are some interesting matchups. It's weird that they're starting Lions and Chiefs.
Yeah.
On the kickoff game, but these are going to be some crazy matchups. I can't. Some of these are but
I want to root for the Lions underdog story, you know what I mean, for the kickoff game. But oh man, I just given Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes that much time to plan for the Lions, and I like the Lions roster, and I think they'll get there. But I don't know, week one, man. But anything can happen week one. Anything can happen.
Yeah, and it's kind of like everybody's saying that they're throwing the Lions into the bloodbath, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think this is going to be a good early game for the Lions, and a good early test for the Chiefs, honestly, because the Lions are going to have, this whole offseason, they're going to have all this time to get their offense even more dialed in. They were a scary offense last year, and now they got one of their young receivers back. They draft Jahmyr Gibbs in the first round, so they get their weapon. They were apparently very high on him. The rumor was that they thought he was going to go top 10 or top 8. And that's why they were so excited in the draft room.
Yeah, no kidding.
So who knows what they've got planned. So I really like this matchup. I think it's an odd matchup, but you've got Detroit's offense, which was one of the most efficient in the league, going against a Chiefs defense that showed out in the Super Bowl in the second half, but still has those question marks. Are they going to be is that secondary still going to hold up? Are they going to play just as well? That front seven is still really scary. And the additions that they made during the draft, they added some good defensive players, but it's going to be a good test. I'm actually more excited for that first game than other people are. I think people are just expecting it to be a bloodbath.
Yeah, I also really like the Eagles and the Dolphins week 7. I think that one's just going to be so much fun to watch. That is going to just be a lot of probably high point scoring game. It's going to be
that's going to be a good one. I mean, we got Chiefs Jets week 4. That's going to be interesting. Cowboys Niners week 5. That's a great rivalry. Really excited to see Giants Bills, excuse me, in week 6. Week 6.
Wait, I'm sorry, week 6.
Week 6. Keep it. Leave it in. Bills Bengals week 9. Great game. I think that Vikings Broncos week 11 is going to be a fun one. I might be at that game. Who knows? Niners Seahawks on Thanksgiving. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be great. And then the week after that, Ravens Chargers. Holy, that'll be an electric game on its own. Week 14 is going to be a good one. Week 16, classic rivalry. I hope that one will be good. And then week 16 and 17, honestly, all 3 of those games.
When's the last time we've seen when's the last time Josh Allen and Justin Herbert have gone up against each other?
That's a good question. That'll be an electric game, man.
Yeah. That's okay. So moving on to Monday Night Football. We got, you know what team though that you won't see in the prime time, I believe, is Houston.
Interesting.
Houston, I haven't seen anything yet for, but we'll see how that goes.
This
Which
is
is interesting with the top two. Wait, no, actually, top three picks.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd think they would get a little more love, but I don't know.
Let's see. I'm looking at these, and these are Monday Night Football needs to get their stuff together, man, because these are just some of these matchups are like, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch these two teams. It
almost looks like Thursday Night Football.
No, it really does, because like Jets Bills, that's going to be fun. Like that's going to be a good one. Aaron Rodgers going against Josh Allen, that's going to be awesome. It's in New York too.
Von Miller versus Aaron Rodgers again.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I mean, a lot of these games, the Seahawks Giants game from last year in Seattle was probably one of the more entertaining games. So I'm kind of excited to see Seattle go into New York and have to fight them in the Meadowlands.
Ravens Niners is a nice one. Week 16. That one might be very interesting. Besides
Broncos in Buffalo on November 13th. That might be a bloodbath. We do get a Super Bowl. We do get a Super Bowl rematch though. Week 11. I think that's going to be probably one of the most entertaining Monday night games of the season. I mean,
and ye old Week 18 doubleheader, which my body is ready for.
Yeah, that's Chiefs Patriots, Mac Jones, Ravens Niners might be a good one. Honestly, Ravens Niners might end up being a good one.
It's not quite what it used to be, but I think it will still.
Cowboys Chargers in Week 6 might be a high scoring game as well.
Let's go on to Thursday Night Football.
Thursday night. We don't want to see any of these.
Yeah, we got Broncos Chiefs, good rivalry. That we'll see how that pans out. Will Russ be something? Will he be nothing? Who knows?
Who knows?
Black
Friday football.
What they advertising? Okay.
It could this be a Mike White revenge game?
Oh shit!
Could this be a Mike White revenge game? Pablo asked, "Do the Lions make the playoffs this year, guys?" That's a good question.
Look at that schedule again. Maybe
first thought is the Lions are going to have a tough time. That's my first thought. However, I think that with how efficient their offense was and them returning most of the guys on that offense, I mean, their offensive line is pretty set, and that they added some dogs on the defense. That defense is not to be slept on this year. I'm telling you that defense is not to be slept on this year. Man, I don't know. Playoffs for the Lions. They were close last year. They were close. Can they get it together this year? Maybe. We'll see. I don't know if any of these other games really move the needle for me. I think Seahawks, Cowboys might end up. That one's late in the season, so that one could be playoff implications. Patriots in Pittsburgh, Week 14. That's a classic rivalry.
Yeah,
that's a mid 2000s rivalry, and Mac Jones. Whew,
Mac Jones.
He who?
That's fair. I'm not even gonna do it again.
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense. I actually brought up the Lions schedule real quick because I am curious.
Very nice.
Oof. Week 2. That's
I don't know.
Week 3 probably. 4 probably.
Yeah.
5. Okay, you're looking good for a while.
Bucks are not as Bucks just don't. They don't scare me this year.
Yeah,
Bucks are not scaring me this year.
About Baker, Ravens. I like your schedule. I think you have a good shot for sure.
Boy, Vikings 2 out of the last 3 weeks is going to be that 4-game stretch right there. It's
going to be a big deal.
It's going to be a big deal. That 4-game stretch is going to make or break their playoff odds. Because I mean, realistically, is Chicago going to be a serious team this year. Like, is Justin Fields going to be able to put it together and actually be something? Because those 2 games are late in the season too. So he might have time to get into the offense and really work out those kinks and make something. That might be tough down the stretch too.
And they're talking about Hendon Hooker being a red shirt in his first year, but shoot, man, you might need to get him in there. That might be important.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think you leave him, you let him sit this year.
Tell Jared Goff to get the fuck out of there next year.
Exactly.
And then we got week 1. So they got the Chiefs and Lions. We already went over that.
Yeah.
Panthers, Falcons, good rivalry match.
Bijan versus Bryce.
Bryce Young, yeah.
Bijan versus Bryce.
Yeah, more like Brian Burns versus. Wait, I went the wrong way.
Yeah, Brian Burns versus Desmond Ridder.
Yeah, fair.
Ejiro Evero is going to have a great time in that game. I think they're going to throw so much at Desmond Ridder. That's going to be fun to watch.
Texans, Baltimore. Yeah, that's going to be a rough opening for CJ Stroud.
Yeah, CJ Stroud versus that Ravens defense. That's going to be interesting. Bengals and Browns.
Do you even play him? I mean, do you even start him?
I think so. I think they do.
You want to start your rookie QB like that? You want to do him like that though? That's rough.
Hey, you got to get the reps. You got to get the reps.
Yeah, man. Yeah. True. Bengals, Browns. Yeah.
I'm curious to see what the Browns offense is going to look like this year, because it did not look good last year.
Yeah, that's
obviously we know Nick Chubb is going to be getting 50 carries in this game. So
especially if Kareem Hunt's gone too.
Yeah.
So Kareem Hunt.
You want to say that again?
Nope.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Kareem.
Then we have Jaguars, Colts. That'll be a very interesting one because I am ready to see Anthony Richardson. Will he play? I don't know. Might as well. Screw it.
Hey, they said already he's coming in and he's going to be the starter. Hey,
did they? I missed that.
Oh yeah, they're all in on it, man.
I mean, who else do they have really? That's like that Sam Ellinger.
Gardner Minshew. They got Gardner.
We're not going to start Gardner.
They got Gardner.
He's solidified as a backup.
Hey, come on now. We love Gardner.
Uncle Rico ain't be like that no
more. Bucks Vikings. That's going to be. Are we going to see Jordan Addison play in this game?
My guess is that is the lowest viewership on week one.
Really? Okay, let's play this game then. Let's play this game. Let's say, which game do you think is going to have the highest score, and which game do you think is going to have the lowest score?
The highest score, I'm
like all put together, not just from one team, but both teams put together.
I currently eyeing the social media quarterback versus the GOAT Tua Tagovailoa again. If you don't get that joke.
I
know. Not you. I'm like talking about everybody. You gotta go look some stuff up. So Chargers Dolphins might be something. I am not seeing a ton of high scoring games.
I think
Chiefs Lions maybe.
Yeah, that one should be pretty high scoring.
Bills Jets.
Jaguars Colts does have a chance too. Jaguars offense is pretty stout.
Colts not like that though. I mean, I guess never mind. They got Steichen now, so that's a bit different. Okay, that's
Eagles Patriots could be, but I don't know. The Eagles defense might just make Mac Jones wish he was never born.
Which one is just like a shit show?
Dude, you want to talk about a shit show? Yeah. Titans Saints.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Will Levis versus Andy Dalton.
That's exactly where I was looking.
I would be surprised if we see 15 points total, or Cardinals and Commanders. Cardinals and Commanders might be a shit show.
Saints, yeah. Oh god, the Saints, dude. They got Andy Dalton and no Alvin Kamara, probably.
Yeah.
rough. They're swinging for that Caleb Williams next year.
Oh, they have to be. They have to be.
Watch. Wait, how many? I haven't. Oh, okay. There's the Cardinals. I was going to say I haven't talked about the Cardinals. Cardinals, Commanders. Also, not going to be great. All right. Well, I hope
Exciting stuff,
all of you got exactly what you wanted. Because I know I did. I got football back. That's all I want, really. Let's be honest.
Hey, this is exciting. These are exciting times, right? This is the lull. This is the quiet period. Draft just happened. Everybody's tired. You know. Hey, here's a little schedule for you. Here's a little schedule. I dropped this. I dropped it. Here's the schedule.
Yep. And obviously with that comes all the schedule release videos and the Chargers. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've only watched a few so far, but the Chargers dominated again. They threw another anime out there.
Game over.
Automatically gonna get me with the anime. Secondly,
game over.
It's hilarious. The little gambling tidbits they threw in there.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh my gosh.
For the record, this is the Commanders quarterback room right now. Are you ready? Sam Howell. Jacoby Brissett. Jake Fromm.
Wow.
Tim DeMoret.
Okay. Jake Fromm's name in a while.
Here's the needle, okay?
Georgia goat.
Here's the needle.
Yeah.
The needle went down
like that.
The needle
for that.
1-4.
All right. Well, moving back into the draft. So from here on, the next how many weeks we got? How many? 8 weeks.
Let's hang on. Let's talk about this comment really quick. Pablo says Texans might win 7 to 9 games or not. That's tough.
I don't think they're quite there yet. I think they got still quite a bit to do. But hey, you never know. That division has a lot of questions in it, right? You don't know what's going on with the Colts. You don't know what's going on with the Titans and the Jags. Jags are promising. So
yeah, and it really just kind of depends more on what is their offense going to look like. Is CJ Stroud going to be able to catch up to NFL speed, because apparently he is starting as of right now. I 7 games. I think ceiling would be 7 games. I would say ceiling would be 7 games. It just really depends on what that offensive scheme looked like. Their offensive line is really not that bad. Like it's not terrible. Dameon Pierce is an absolute dog. That's great for the run game. And then they got some good wide receivers as well. So, I mean, 7 is my ceiling.
While we're talking about it, let's jump into their drafts. So here's kind of comparing to what you were saying about the 7 wins. I don't think CJ Stroud is a quarterback that can do a lot with a little. I think CJ Stroud needs more help. At Ohio State, he had a ton of weapons. The Texans don't have that. They just got Robert Woods, who supposedly is their number 1 receiver, even though 1, can he stay healthy? 2, is he that guy? Then you can bring in Tank Dell, which is like, I mean, a super high potential slot receiver. You're like your Brandon Cooks-esque replacement, but not really. So you don't really have a ton of weapons.
But they also do have John Mechie. He's coming back. And that's your so Nico Collins is going to be your X. That's going to be your X. John Mechie's going to be your Z. That's your speed guy. Robert Woods will start out as your like veteran slot dude. They'll put him outside a little bit. Tank Dell, Xavier Hutchinson as a backup X receiver. I like that. And then Amari Rogers, Noah Brown, Johnny Johnson III, Steven Sims. Don't sleep on Steven Sims. He's a dog.
Scruggs I just copied and pasted from PFF or something.
Scruggs is a center, so they do have a new center. But I think the receiver room as a whole, it's not great. Yeah. It's full of guys who are like still young, can still do some things. I think Nico Collins is probably the most underappreciated receiver on this offense. I think he's been a favorite of mine for a couple years now. Really like him, but I mean, you look at the build of this receiver room and it's built around just speed, like a blend of like we have speed guys and then we have our X guys.
Yep.
So,
all right. So I'll kind of read through this and then just kind of give me certain picks that kind of stood out to you. Sure. So first round, CJ Stroud, Ohio State, Will Anderson, Alabama, Juice Scruggs, Penn State, center, not a quarterback. Tank Dell out of Houston, Dylan Horton out of TCU, Henry To'o from Alabama, Jarrett Patterson out of Notre Dame, Xavier Hutchinson. I forgot about that one. That's a good one too. That's some more speed. I mean, I guess they don't look too different from Ohio State style receivers currently, with a lot of speed, a lot of good route running. So I can see, and then Brandon Hill that was a pretty good pick for 7th round. Brandon Hill, he's decent.
Those last 4 picks, getting To'o, Patterson, Hutchinson, and Hill that late, that's good value.
Yep. And
the fact that they traded back up from 12 to get Will Anderson and still were able to get all of these like not starting level guys, just quality role players. That's big. That's big. That's depth. That's what these rounds are all about. Like so many people get hung up on winning the draft in the first round. You don't win the draft in the first round. You win the draft in rounds 3 through 7. That's where you win it.
Sorry, go for it.
Go. No, please.
I was going to say I completely agree, and I'm also kind of interested what they're going to do here with Jarrett Patterson and Scruggs. Like if they see Patterson more as a guard, or if they're just like trying for depth there.
I think maybe he got his shit pushed in mobile. I mean, he really did. So I think you maybe take this year and let him catch up, get him in the weight room. Really the big thing was his core strength and his lower half. And that was the thing. There's nothing wrong with his upper half. He's strong, but he just could not find his base against top level guys. So
Keanu Benton had his number.
Oh, easily. He was getting his shit pushed in.
All right. Moving on to the Indianapolis Colts. All right. So we got
the best draft.
Anthony Richardson, Julius Brents, Josh Downs, Blake Freeland, Adetomiwa Adebaware.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Good
Darius
job.
Rush. Then we got what? I cut off.
I believe it's Daniel.
Tyler?
Yeah, Daniel Scott.
Daniel Scott. Save this right. Will Mallory, Akeem Richards, Titus Leo, Jalen Jones in the 7th.
Wow.
And Jake Witt, OT. This was my favorite draft of the entire thing. Sorry, dog.
No, it's okay.
And I love. First of all, I love the swing on Anthony Richardson. I just don't see how you can't swing on those type of tools. Like that's just that you have to, and you have a great coaching staff in position now to really develop him. And you have a lot of talent around him. And now you're adding more weapons like Josh Downs and giving him some decent offensive line play with some Blake Freeland. I mean, shoot, man, you have a lot of opportunity there.
I'd be really interested to see. I'm curious to see what they do with Blake Freeland. Like, do they not think that Raymond can stand at left tackle? Like, are they going to move him to right tackle next year? I just don't. I don't know. I don't think so. Like you saw Braden Smith there. Will Freeze. Ryan Kelly was trade bait though.
Yep.
So who knows? Quentin Nelson's still there, obviously. And then Raymond at left tackle. It's just very interesting.
You don't see him playing anything but tackle. So
no, and he's a big dude. He's a big dude and he's athletic. Like I don't see them moving him inside. But I think we're really not talking about this Colt. Like this Colts class, they do get it. Like they got an A within those first 4 picks. Like they got it. And then you just add on that 5th one and you're like, okay. And then you go to the 6th one and you're like, come on, man.
Yep.
And then like they get Will Mallory too, probably one of the most athletic tight ends in this class. And Jalen Jones, a corner that we liked in the 7th round. That's insane value. It's crazy. I think with that defense now, I mean,
them big corners, man.
Yeah,
Julius Brent and Jalen Jones, man. Both of them are over 6'2". So
and Darius Rush. And
Darius Rush.
Who honestly, Darius Rush should have been picked in the 3rd round or earlier because the show that he put on at the Senior Bowl and the show that he put on, like Cam Smith was fantastic at South Carolina. Do not get me wrong. But Darius Rush was arguably just as good, if not better. Like the perfect blend of size, the perfect blend of speed. He was running routes for receivers at the Senior Bowl. I mean, he was just insanely athletic and his instincts are next level. B1 says Rush is skinny, but he can gain that weight. Here's the thing though. What did we learn from Sauce Gardner? We learned that
physicality sometimes can make up for it.
Yeah. And it's not like you can be a 100. And I mean, we shit on Emmanuel Forbes during the draft because he was a 1st round pick and he was 177 pounds. Okay. But he also doesn't play as big as Sauce Gardner did. Darius Rush plays big. He plays big. He will get in your face and he will jam you, but he will also stay stride for stride with you. He will get in your hip. He will cut you off. He will use his length to poke that ball out. I'm surprised that he lasted to the 5th round. But the fact that he's on the Colts, again, this is an insane draft class and people need to be talking about this more. You get Addy in the 4th round, Blake Freeland in the 4th round, Josh Downs in the 3rd round.
Like, Josh Downs was talking about being in the 1st round, like at the tail end of the 1st round. So, God, man, it was funny because it was like every player that I was like, oh, this player's still on the board. I wonder who. Oh, Colts. All right, where I wondered. Oh, Colts. Oh, Colts. And it's just like, man, shout out to Chris Ballard, man.
And let's talk about this too. That receiver room now, Alec Pierce, Michael Pittman Jr., Isaiah McKenzie, who had a great revival in Buffalo, Josh Downs, and they just added Juwan Winfrey too, which that's kind of weird. He's kind of a tight end wide receiver hybrid now. But
then Mo Alley Cox,
Jelani Woods, and now Will Mallory. Like this is going to be a crazy offense to watch with Anthony Richardson. I'm really excited. This Colts team is looking nice.
This RPO that they're going to be running. With Jonathan Taylor and Richardson, and then Josh Downs just like Feep.
And Zach Moss, Deion Jackson. They did get Evan Hull too in the draft, which that's big for them because
Zach Moss too.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, it's just gonna be nuts, man. The Anthony Richardson pick in its own, that's gonna be your franchise quarterback. Can't wait to see him as a Denver Bronco in like 8 years.
All right, moving on to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Starting off with Anton Harrison.
Your boy. They got your boy.
My boy. Yeah, fell all the way down. I mean, I guess this is pretty much
not really.
You thought he was going to kind of go here. Anton Harrison at Oklahoma. Brenton Strange. That one was strange. That one was strange. Another Cole Strange and Brenton Strange, like it's all strange picks. Tank Bigsby, man, I like it. I like it. Tank, Bigsby, and ETN. It's gonna be nice.
That's gonna be a nice duo for them.
Is James Robinson still on the free agency?
No,
is he still did he get picked up?
I think he did. They do still have JaMychal Hasty and Dearness Johnson and Snoop Connor. Interesting.
Dearness Johnson is that deep, huh? Okay.
Yeah. They're deep in the running back room. They do get Calvin Ridley back this year as well, so that's huge.
And then Ventrell Miller from Florida, Tyler Lacey, Yasir Abdullah, Antonio Johnson. I wasn't as big of a fan as Antonio Johnson.
Yeah,
fifth round was about right for me.
Yeah, him falling. A lot of people had him like 1-2.
Yeah. Parker Washington in the 6th is crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Nuts. That was nuts.
I like Parker Washington. I mean, he's not flashy. He's not, but he's such a solid receiver, and he'll be that guy. He might be that dude that just gets all the touchdowns one week, and you're like, who the fuck is Parker Washington?
Someone comped him to Julian Edelman, and I honestly really like that. He's not flashy, but like he's a thicker slot receiver who just understands space and understands how to work coverages. Really like that. Penn State seems to bring out these like crazy route runner receivers from year to year, but they don't really ever find that success. Like we had DaeSean Hamilton, excuse me. We had KJ Hamler. Now there's Parker Washington. Is Parker Washington going to be that dude? A lot of people loved him in the draft. I don't know. We'll see. He's in a deep receiver room though.
Yeah, I think he's technically a better receiver than I think the last Penn State receivers that came out. They had a lot of speed, where I think that technically Parker Washington he's just more of a technician, which I always appreciate and love, and they always have a space or a spot on a roster. And then you got Christian Braswell from Rutgers, Eric Hallett out of Pittsburgh, Cooper Hodges,
Appalachian State. Let's go.
Raymond Vohasek out of North Carolina, and Derek Parrish. All around, I think they did solid. They had a solid draft class. Nothing really pops off for me. I like the Tank Bigsby ad.
I like them getting Washington. Yeah, I like them getting Yaya in the 5th round too. I think that's good edge depth. This was really just a class for them to build depth. And that's really what it was. And I think people like, we're going to sit here and say, oh, the Brenton Strange pick was a strange one. Yeah. Like it was because of who else was on the board, but like, they're just getting depth at this point. Like all of these picks are depth picks. Like even Anton Harrison is a depth pick for them. That's just is what I'm surprised they didn't trade out of the 1st.
Yeah. I mean, the Jaguars looked good last year. I think things are starting to come around now that they had that. We're going to just eliminate Trevor Lawrence's rookie year with
you got to get rid of that.
We're going to consider last year his rookie year, in which he looked great. And they're kind of just adding to it. They're just solidifying their roster, and they got a lot of good solid pieces to put around.
Getting Calvin Ridley back is going to be so big for them.
So big. That receiver core is nice.
Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, Calvin Ridley, Jamal Agnew, Seth Williams as well. Like, I mean, these are just it's just a solid room. And then you add Parker Washington into it, and now you have 2 really solid slot receivers for Trevor Lawrence. Doug Peterson is really one of the best offensive minds in the game, and I think it's time that we really start appreciating his skills a little bit more. And then that defense is really solid. Like, they need to put it together, but it's really solid.
Absolutely. So they get a D+. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
honestly, if we want to slap a grade on this one, which really I think we should grade the picks. But if we want to slap a grade on these 3 classes that we've already talked about, I think Houston gets a B- from me. I think they did fine at getting like the core guys that they need. Innie gets an A from me. That class is just insane. And Jacksonville gets a C- from me. I don't hate these picks. I understand that you're trying to you're building for depth, but if you're going to pick these guys at these spots, let's maybe trade out. Did we have to take Anton Harrison in the first round, or could we have traded down and gotten more picks, down the line, and maybe even traded down a couple of spots and still gotten Anton Harrison? But maybe they just wanted that 5th-year option because Walker Little is currently their right tackle.
Yeah.
And I know you hate him.
I think we are pretty similar on our grades. I would probably give him a C here, and then probably the Indy's A. Yeah, Indy A plus, whatever. Houston, I actually like. I think the other people did, because I liked how they went and got the faces of their offense and defense. I think they're more focused. They didn't really care about the picks as much as they cared about getting changing the organization. They already went and got D'Amico Ryans. Now they went and got Bryce Young, they got CJ Stroud, the offensive face of their franchise, and then they got the defensive face of their franchise, hopefully, in Will Anderson. I just like that they kind of did the Detroit similar feel, where they were just we have specific guys that we want. We don't care where we pick them. We just want them. That's it. That's how I play the game. All right. So moving on to the Tennessee Titans.
This class, dude. This class, to me, I have a lot of questions about.
Okay. All right. So we're going to start off with Peter Skoronski, tackle out of Northwestern. Will Levis, QB, obviously out of Kentucky, which is real funny, because if any of you watched our mock draft, we had Bryce Young going to Carolina, and then CJ Stroud to Houston, and then Anthony Richards to the Colts, and then we had the Titans trading up for Will Levis. Well, I guess that we were kind of right, but technically wrong. They got to just chill and wait around, and no one snagged Will Levis.
Surprise!
Well, they still got him. So
surprise!
And then Tyjae Spears out of Tulane, very nice, very nice.
Did you see the report about his knee, though?
I didn't.
Yeah, hang on. Let me keep talking.
Okay.
Let me pull this up.
Josh Wiley out of Cincinnati, Jalen Duncan out of Maryland. So, okay, and then Colton Dowell out of Tennessee Martin. Jalen Duncan one's very interesting, because we also talked about him before in our tackle special. He is one of those guys that everybody was really excited about just because of his athleticism, and sure, it's there, but when you get down to the technique, it is so hot and cold. And when it's cold, it's really cold, and to the point where it's not even worth it. So I mean, it makes a lot of sense to my mind that he fell all the way down to round 6, but I think that's something that you can potentially kind of put your money on a little bit, that he will be something ish. The ceiling is what you're betting on, right? So with them getting Peter Skoronski and Jalen Duncan, I think that gives them a lot of good options for the future on the offensive line. You got that info?
Yeah, I do. So Tyjae Spears doesn't have an ACL in one of his knees after a pair of surgeries and cartilage damage as well. It sounds like he tore his ACL twice in his right knee. He also has he will need a full knee replacement sooner than later, and he has arthritis in his knee.
No. Oh no! So red shirt, is what you're saying? Red shirt here.
So at the NFL Combine, tests revealed a full thickness cartilage loss and no ACL in his knee. So yeah,
when did that info come out? Did they found that? And okay,
they found it at the Combine,
but they found it out until now. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, that is shitty. Dang, I would have really liked to see Derrick Henry and Tyjae Spears. They're so complete opposites.
I think we still.
Really fun.
I think we'll still see them. Like I think that
will Derrick Henry still be there by the time Ty J is healthy enough to actually play?
He play now. Like he can play. It's just he just tapes his knee every game. Like he'll be fine. But like the question is it long term? Like, is he going to be able to play long term? And I don't know. Like, you spend a 3rd round pick. Yeah, it's a 3rd round pick on a running back, whatever. But you also spend a 3rd round pick on a running back when there were other running backs available who's probably not going to play nearly as long as those other running backs. I think it's a big question mark. I think that he can still be that guy. Like, he can still be that explosive running back, that counter to Derrick Henry, the lightning to his thunder. You know what I mean? But will it be a long-term thing? Derrick Henry's probably not even going to be there next year. So is it really going to matter? Probably not.
Yeah.
But
well, tell me what you think about the Will Levis pick.
Listen.
I'm listening.
You know?
Yeah, no,
like,
I get you.
Like it's.
No, I get it. Yeah.
What are we doing? What are we doing here?
I mean, it could be a great value. Could be great value.
It could be.
Could be great value.
This is this is what I don't understand. Okay, let me pull up this list. Okay, so the rumor was they were going to trade up for him, and apparently it was a very, very real thing. But like,
maybe they're just trash or great.
I mean,
what they do.
Yeah, both of those things. But like, you also have so many. You also have so many like other issues going on. Like you took Skoronski, and he's already listed as their starting left guard. By the way, he's
left guard or left tackle?
Yeah, left guard. He's already starting.
Right.
But like, I understand the want to take Will Levis. He has tools. He has worked in an NFL offense before. You're giving him Derrick Henry, which is fantastic. It alleviates some of that pressure. Who is he throwing to? Who like are we gonna do the same thing next year, Titans? Are we going to like say, okay, this is our guy. This is our guy. We said Malik was our guy last year.
Do you
and then we kind of threw him to the fire.
If you're Derrick Henry, do you like this or do you hate this? Like,
I hate it.
Like you want the carries, right? But at the same time, everyone knows you're going to get the carries.
Yeah. I mean, look, you took Peter Skoronski when you could have had Jackson Smith and Jigba, Quentin. You could have had any of the wide receivers. You could have had any of them. But instead, you took Skoronski, who's going to be, he's going to be your starting left guard. Great. Fantastic. You solidified the left side with Andre Dillard and Peter Skoronski. That run game is going to be disgusting if they can stay healthy, right? Then you trade up for Will Levis. You still trade up for Will Levis, just not at 3, at 33. And still, like, even after that, it's what we had. Okay, let's go to pick 81. Let's go to pick 81 and see who is still on the board. Okay, we took Tajay Spears. Okay, Michael Wilson, receiver from Stanford. He was picked before that. Xavier Hutchinson was still on the board. Trey Tucker got picked there. Let's see who else. Charlie Jones was one from Purdue. Tyler Scott from Cincinnati. That would have been a great pick. But no, let's take a guy who has arthritis in his knee. That's fantastic. Parker Washington was still there. Hey, fantastic. Okay, let's go down to pick 147. All right, we took Josh Wiley. All right, who else was it? Okay, there was a wide receiver taken 3 picks after that. Dontavian Wicks was picked in the 5th round as well. That would have been a great wide receiver. Let's see, Puka Nacua from BYU. That could have been a great one. Oh, but hey, let's take Josh Wiley because, why not? Okay, we need
Wiley
to
not.
Wiley not. Yeah, let's see. Because we didn't get Chigo Okonkwo, or we We don't have a second tight end. So, hey, let's just get that. All right, let's go down to 186. Jalen Duncan. Okay, we took Jalen Duncan. You know who was picked right after Jalen Duncan?
Tell me.
Kayshawn Boutte. What position does he play? Wide receiver. Yeah. Who was picked? Tampa Bay picked Trey Palmer at 191. What position does he play? Wide receiver. A.T. Perry from Wake Forest was picked at 195. Could have had him. Xavier Hutchinson, 205. Andre Iosivas, 206. Like, all these wide receivers got taken after these picks, and still we're settled with Colton Dowell. So here's what Will Levis's wide receiver room looks like. Are you ready for this? Because this is fucking terrible.
Oh, I'm looking at it. It is terrible. Yep, go for it.
Treylon Burks. I loved Treylon Burks. I think Treylon Burks could still be that dude. Is he worth trading AJ Brown over? No. No. Kyle Phillips. Who? Nick Westbrook Ikini. Who? Racy McMath.
Never heard that name in my life.
That sounds like,
let's find out
an auto-generated Madden character. I mean, god damn, man. What are they doing? They are so committed to running power football, and they didn't even pick a tight end who could block right. Like, god dang, man. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating.
Can't even get off IR, my guy.
and this is what is so frustrating about the Titans is, like, they are wasting Derrick Henry's prime. Like, you have the best running back in the NFL, and we're not doing anything to really help him. Skoronski in the run game, yeah, that'll be great. It'll be fantastic. But that's your offense.
Yep.
That's your offense. No one's going to be scared of these wide receivers. Treylon Burks is going to be force-fed like 20 targets a game, and they're not going to be able to sustain a true offense. You're going to rely on Derrick Henry running the ball 30, 40 times a game.
Yep.
It's unacceptable. It really is. And I do feel for Will Levis a little bit. Like, I understand that the whole draft night, like, you were expecting to be a top 10 dude. You're really not like that, my guy. Like, your girls were fine, but like, your draft stock wasn't. All right.
So how would you wrap it up with a grade?
F.
What are you thinking?
F.
Okay. Yeah.
F. Honestly, they get an F. You traded up to get Will Levis in the second round, like, and then you didn't do anything to help the team.
Yeah.
You lost me. You lost me. They get an F.
I give it a C-. I'm not as big on it because I think that Will Levis, a lot of people thought we were going to go the first round, and the fact that he kind of falls-ish to you in the second, fine. Skoronski, I don't know, man. It just depends on what you're going to do with him. Like, to be completely honest, the Tyjae Spears thing, I didn't know, and that's rough. I mean, I get that.
They still have Hassan Haskins. Yeah. This is what I'm saying, dude. Like, what are we doing? Here's, you know what?
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Here's the running backs. Here's the running backs that were taken after Tyjae Spears. Devon Achane, Tank Bigsby. That would have been fun. Devon Achane would have been fun.
Yeah, it would have been great.
That would have been awesome. Let's see. Roshan Johnson was picked in at 115.
I like that fit, by the way.
Oh, that's gonna be I can't wait to do that show. Let's see. Oh, Izzy went to the Jets at 143. You talk about a crazy partner to Derrick Henry.
Sean Tucker went undrafted.
Is he a Bronco?
So mad.
Is he a Bronco? Where did he go?
Bucks.
Ooh, yeah. Yikes.
It did come out that he had a heart issue, so I get it to a certain extent. But I liked Sean Tucker a lot.
I know we both did. We both did, and I'm like, this seeing this class just frustrates me. It
Yep.
frustrates me for Derrick Henry. It frustrates me for those fans who really wanted them to, like, they were so close 2 years
Yep.
ago. And now it just feels like they're not even trying.
No,
Like
they're
just
limping along now. Luckily, Vrabel is a really good coach. That's the only thing they got for him. And Derrick Henry, who's probably going to be gone after next year.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think all around, I think the AFC South is going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of new pieces, a lot of new quarterbacks, a lot of question marks, and I think it would be fun to be a fan in this division just because there's a lot of uncertainties.
Yeah.
But you got a lot of new QBs. You got a lot of young QBs, like combined 3 years of experience. Like obviously Lawrence being the most, and he's still in his third year, quote unquote third year, but really is in his second year.
Second year.
Really, yeah. You know what I mean? All right, man. Well, thanks all for watching another week. Next week we'll come at you again with another division. We'll kind of go over the next 8 weeks. Is that math? 8 weeks? 8 weeks. Yep. And kind of break it all down for you. Thanks for joining us. We'll see y'all next whack. Bye.
Thanks for watching.